Good evening, everyone. I am Angela GEGG, and you're watching Angie TV on Planet Dubai. We are here in the Vuuzle TV studios right here in Media City, Dubai. Thank you, everyone, for joining me, and to everyone that has downloaded the Vuuzle app. We've had millions of hits and downloads on our sites, and we're grateful to all of you. Like most of you watching, we are under the quarantine due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But we're here, especially for you, working from our studios to bring you tips, advice, techniques for coping with stress, anxiety, isolation, and more. Like the rest of the world, we have hit a global reset, and we've revamped our show and are bringing you a special edition of Angie TV, where we will be featuring different guests and segments, which are aimed to help you get through this safely and enhance your emotional well-being. I have an awesome show lined up for you with guests from all around the UAE. I've got Manisha Advani of Soul Santee in the house, Angie Harper of Iconic Fitness, and Neil Anderson of Homely Petz. They'll all be joining us today. But now, I'm joined in the studios with my first guest. She's a holistic health coach and founder of the Soul Santee Cafe, a vegan and healthy food eatery in the heart of Dubai Marina. She's here with me to talk about cooking with plant-based, sugar-free, gluten-free, and soy dishes, as well as easy-to-do home workouts. Manisha Advani, when we get back from our first commercial break. And we are back. I'm joined in house with Manisha.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
Very good. Thanks so much for joining us today on Coping with COVID.
How's it going?
Very good. Very good. Of course, I am at home following strict quarantine and lockdown rules, except for the days that we do come into the studios and have special guests like yourself to talk to our audience and help everybody out. So.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, we've been definitely following the same strict procedures, but of course in the food industry, it's really hit us hard.
Right.
So definitely trying to do whatever we can to provide the best food and, you know, hygiene requirements. Obviously, as you know, people in Dubai, not everyone knows how to cook. So definitely trying to cater to everybody and everyone's dietary restrictions.
But you are full on vegan, so everything you do follows, you know, vegan, and that's a great trend right now. People are really getting into that. Tell me a little bit about what inspired you to become a vegan and how that helps people and why they should probably try to implement or can implement that while at home under this lockdown.
Amazing. Well, I actually was a vegetarian for a really long time, and then last year while I was opening my cafe, I became a vegan. Obviously, why it was so much more easier to become a vegan is because as you start reading more and more, you gain more and more knowledge. And that's where I realized that, you know, this is the trend of the future. People like Arnold Schwarzenegger investing in foods that are related to veganism obviously shows us that this is the next trend that's ongoing. At times as such, obviously it's very important to include more and more vegetables. Everyone says vitamin C. Vitamin C is readily available in over 80% of the vegetables we're finding. So literally, I'm not expecting everyone to overnight be like, okay, I quit meat.
Right.
But definitely, as the dietary program changes over the years, even the FDA has started to say, please start including more and more vegetables, more and more vitamin C, citrus fruits. And what we're trying to really push here is remove foods and ingredients from your diet. That's why Soul Santee came about, is remove food and ingredients from your diet that are going to cause you more harm and are less advantageous to our health.
Okay. So actually, I have a special little treat here from Soul Santee. I don't know if it says peanut butter, and I love peanut butter. I don't know if you want to tell me a little bit about this one.
Yeah, of course. So Soul Santee Cafe being completely gluten-free. Gluten obviously over time, well, whoever has celiac disease is known to cause them nerve damage. So it's gluten-free, soy-free, sugar-free, and they're handmade chocolates in the UAE, the only ones that are vegan, sugar-free, and also they have 5 grams of protein each.
These do. So I don't know if you guys can see these. At home, we have, these are made with peanut butter?
Yes.
Can I try one?
Yes. So
I don't know. I don't use, well, should I try one, guys, at home? Should I try one? So these are super healthy.
Super healthy, no sugar at all, no refined sugar, and it has 5 grams of protein. So for people who are really trying to push the fact that
very good.
vegan food doesn't have protein, they're completely mistaken. And this really caters to non-processed food, you know? I'll talk a little bit more about the cafe.
Please do.
So
Awesome.
I'm so happy she likes it. So why vegan food is good, of course, is because it's a sustainable diet. Over the years, even we saw that before, my plate used to have a glass of milk on the side, and half of it was meat. Now the meat percentage has gone to 1/3, and soon and the glass of milk has completely been eradicated.
Okay.
So soon in the future, we will start seeing this trend. Beyond Burger, Impossible Meats. Why are they doing so well? Because we're really trying to remove processed foods from our diet that are not that great for us. I mean, I don't think that if we stop eating meat for 1 week, something drastic would
Plus,
happen.
with COVID, they've been saying, get the vitamin C, get the vitamin C. So this just adds to that and makes it even better.
Correct, and it's much more easier. It's readily available. If you're consuming all the fruits and vegetables in your house that's available, they have vitamin C, phytonutrients, fiber, all of these things you cannot find anywhere else. It's readily available. Tips for COVID is especially like having stuff like turmeric, orange, lemon, and honey. All of these 4 things really push our immune system on like an up. And obviously,
So with the turmeric, you fresh or do you powdered is okay?
fresh or powdered, whatever
Okay.
is easily available. We don't want people to go out of their way, you know? So whatever is readily available, have that every day. Try to include in whatever way or form you can, you know, first thing in the morning.
Okay.
And this really helps boost the immunity.
Okay. I actually have all those ingredients at my house.
Oh my God.
Just randomly. I have everything at my house.
I guess you'll be sending me a picture tomorrow.
But I don't use them.
Yeah, everyone has these ingredients and they don't use them.
And then mix them together, or you just put them one by one, or?
You can mix them together, have
Okay.
them separately in different dishes,
Okay.
and have it first thing in the morning with hot water. Because in the morning is where you've just woken up from your sleep. While you're sleeping, your body is obviously burning calories. Now you've just woken up, and if whatever you're doing first thing in the day, it gives you fresh starts, wakes you up. Aids in weight loss also, by the way.
Oh.
Everyone's
Okay.
sitting at home.
Okay, aids and weight loss. I can tell you I've gained like 5 kg on this lockdown. I'm not gonna lie.
I understand. It's really hard. It's hard to motivate myself also. But that's why we've been trying to really push the health regime. So
Okay.
Soul Santee Cafe does meal plans.
Okay,
But at
nice.
the same time, me as a personal trainer and health coach, obviously I'm sitting at home too, right?
Right,
What am I
right.
supposed to do? Where are all my clients? So I've been trying to offer live workouts. Obviously, the rulers of Dubai have been really generous and grateful
Indeed.
in terms of
Indeed.
opening all these testing centers. Every supermarket you go to, they're testing you, they're checking your temperature. So I really appreciate what they've been doing, you know, and all of the initiatives they've been taking. So here, and also if you go on Dubai calendar, you'll see other people pushing forward such initiatives.
Right.
Whereas for me, every day I try to post an easy at-home workout, no equipment required, because everyone's like, oh, I don't have a gym at home, gyms are closed. I understand that. So every day we try to, I just had one at 4 o'clock today.
Right.
It was with a live DJ, actually.
Very good.
So
So you bring a live DJ, virtual DJ on, and you're
Virtual
giving
DJ.
classes online. So you get your vegan on, you get your exercise on, and you are handling the
You're good to
lockdown
go, yeah.
even better.
Just-
how often do you give these classes? Is it every day?
not every day. I think 2 to 3 times
A week? And that's enough?
That's enough
That-
because
okay.
I post the workouts also as well.
Okay.
So you can do it at a free time of your own, right? I post it on my YouTube channel,
Super.
which is Manisha Advani, and I post it on my Instagram also, which is Cakes and Quads.
Cakes and quads, of course. Then I'll also be reposting on my channels
That's
for
amazing.
you.
Yeah. So some really super simple, super easy to follow. Just at least 30 minutes of exercise daily. They also said that, you know, we're staying at home, we're going to up our immune system. The best way to up your immune system is actually working out, you're getting those endorphins flowing.
Right.
You're not going to be in depression for sure, you know. Being at home is depressing. You can't
Right.
see your friends. You can't see people outside, you know.
And plus, eating meat on top of it is heavy for your body, right?
Definitely, you can't digest it. How are you doing 10,000 steps a day? Is that happening at home?
Right, so true. So try to cut out the meat at least. Not necessarily, if you haven't, done the vegetarian thing, I don't know if you should go straight into the veganism, but I have a girlfriend, her name is Dina. Hey Dina, girl, I see you. She actually just went vegan. She had a bad accident, and since going vegan, she says that she has felt like a new woman. She and her husband Andrew, they're here in Dubai, but they've both gone vegan now. And she says she feels like a new woman. She just all around feels better. And you would never expect her. She loves vegan, everything vegan. So in fact, I told her you were coming on earlier and said this would be right up her street, because she switched, but she said she feels so much better. In general, everything that she's just continued it. She did it for the month of January, and then she decided on to vegan forever.
For sure. So veganism is known to lower your risk of cancer,
Okay.
Lower heart diseases, and definitely you feel more energetic. So before that, I was saying,
that's what she said as well.
yeah, you feel so much more energetic. You're not lethargic. Imagine eating a steak at lunch and trying to work out 2 hours later.
Yeesh.
Can you do it? So that's the best part, like where you're just like feeling more and more energized, and really simple steps at home, like doing easy workouts, like I was talking to you earlier, adding like a 5-minute plank to your daily regime. Okay, you don't want to work out, I get it. And these are like simple exercises.
But I think one of the problems is people tend not to have the motivation to get going. So if they put on YouTube and check your videos or put on Instagram, maybe they'll say, okay, well, I can do this, because you said there's nothing involved. You were doing it without any weights.
No equipment needed at all.
Correct. So these kind of things, a lot of people I think are intimidated by starting an exercise routine because they think weights, this, that. But if you have somebody like you who's putting classes out there where they can see, hey, it's just me, my body, and my movements, and that works, I think, and that's a great way to get started.
Yeah, another quick tip is adding pranayama to your daily program, just breathing exercises.
Okay, the breathing.
Get the blood flowing, you're sitting all day. What if you have to work from home? The hashtag WFH, everywhere, everyone's like, work from home. But what are we doing to really, change that aspect? So yeah, definitely no equipment needed. You can follow along, great music. So it is motivational. Just grab a cup of coffee and join me.
Okay, that's awesome. Very good. Thank you, Manisha. Any other tips for our audience today? Anything that you can think of? I mean, when we go back, let's say when we come out of this, obviously we're going to be completely different. Everything has changed. The whole world has changed. I mean, the whole world, it's almost like we're living in a dream. It doesn't seem like our lives. So, I mean, readjusting, going back post-COVID, are you going to continue the online? Are you going to have people come in? Are you going to use this to let, I don't know. I know veganism is such a great thing, but how do you think you're going to deal with this after this lockdown? Any plans?
Yeah, definitely. So during the lockdown, we really try to introduce and push our meal plans.
Okay.
People were really taking to that really well. So obviously after that, we're still going to continue with that. Trying to cater to people more around the clock. As for the workouts, still we'll post the workout regimes, easy to do on your own. But definitely right now, I'm doing it as a community service.
That's lovely. That's so nice.
Once all of this is over, I'm trying to do these virtually, so you obviously...
And you go back to the personal training?
Personal training, and also virtually, so I can train anyone. Now, they're really great softwares where I can just train someone last week, personally, over Zoom. So, really trying to take... I feel like this time has really shown us how to use technology better.
It really has. I completely agree.
Amazing. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how
remote learning, remote classes, remote cooking, remote everything.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, you talked about meal plans. When you mean a meal plan, what exactly do you mean? Somebody will order for a week? How many meals a day? I mean, how does it, can you tell me a little bit about the meal plans?
I would love to.
Super.
We start at 500 dirhams a week, which is actually really good as compared to the market. It's 3 meals a day plus a dessert like the one you had just now.
Nice.
So we try to cater to people with a calorie limit. So 1,300 calories, anyone who's trying to lose weight. obviously the key ingredient to the cafe and to the meal plans is we give you all your macros. So high protein, low carb, low fat, which is hard to find.
Very good. Yeah, indeed. Hard to find.
Definitely.
Good meal plans, like delicious food.
Of course.
If this dessert was as delicious as it was, and I'm very picky with food, everybody knows that, then and I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure everybody's going to love the meal plans.
Yeah, I'm super happy. Lots of desserts to go around, and literally high protein, trying to push people to really use that energy, the good food, and try to create the best body, mind, and soul, you know?
Soul Santee, any last words for our viewers at home? Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I would just say...
Her Mom and Dad, I'm saying hi to.
I would just say, feed the soul and create the best you. This is the perfect time to work on yourself.
And I love the presentation.
Oh, amazing.
Very
I'm
nice.
So happy. Thank you so much for having me, Angela.
Of course. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Manisha was in the house with me. I will be also sharing where you guys can reach her and how you can find her as well. But of course, you saw her here on Vuuzle. You can rewatch over and over again and find her online. My next guest today is Andrew Harper from Iconic Fitness. We'll be talking about mobility and lots of other cool stuff, ways that we can have tips and advantages from working from home, exercise things when we get back from our commercial break. See you guys for more coping with COVID. Guys, I am Angela GEGG. You're watching Angie TV right here on Planet Dubai. I am joined in the studios with Andy Harper of Iconic Fitness. He is the co-founder of Iconic Fitness, and he's here with us today to talk about tips and techniques, things we can do at home, working, mobility, ergonomics. Andy. Yes. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Angela. I'm very excited to be here. There are lots and lots of people who are struggling with this quarantine, I know.
Yes.
So, crazy times,
yes.
Isn't it?
And not just in Dubai, all over the world, you know?
Yeah.
So.
The one thing I want to do before I get started, I wondered if I could ask to say hello to somebody right now.
Of course.
I was wondering if I could say hello to my lovely wife, Rihanna, and the other co-founder of Iconic Fitness. Rihanna is almost 36 weeks pregnant with our first child, so we're very excited. Just want to say hello, and you did a wonderful job on the haircut. Thank you.
I
Appreciate it.
Well, I want to say hi to Rihanna, too. That's
Cool.
so sweet. That's so nice. Yeah. Wow, about to be a new dad. So on top of the lockdown, you have that stress of becoming a dad.
Yes.
First time dad.
Yes.
Oh, so nice of you guys. And
I know it's a lot to think about, and it's so what a crazy world to be having the child in, right? It's going to be what a story to tell him or her.
Indeed. Oh, so you don't know?
We don't know. We're
You're
waiting.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, very good. Well, thanks for taking the time out to be here because, of course, with that happening and then coming here to talk to our guests, I mean, obviously that's how much we care about our viewers and our audience. We want to give back. So I just would like for you, I know we've talked about it before, but tell our viewers, like sitting at home, you're sitting all the time, how that can have a bad impact on you and what they can do to actually make it better.
Yeah, sure, my pleasure.
Super.
So this is something that we have run into before. We deal with a lot of back injuries, and unfortunately, back pain is, although not normal, very common. 4 out of 5 adults now are going to experience back pain sometime in their life. I know it's happened to me already, and I'm only in my mid-30s.
Hey.
It does happen to a lot of us. So this comes because most of us have jobs where we're sitting down all the time. And I feel like this quarantine has exacerbated that by tenfold.
Yeah.
Everybody is sitting down all the time, and a lot of us, we might have really great workstations at our office or whatever, but now at home, we're sitting in compromised positions.
Dining room chair?
Yes, dining room might be
Dining room
better than
chair.
some. I've seen people working in bed or sitting on couches.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, all kinds of problems. So we just wanted to give a few general pointers
Yes.
for somebody who could set up a workstation at home,
Great.
some of the common mistakes maybe people are making, and how to fix those. So I thought we'd start with that. First of all, sitting down itself doesn't have to be a problem. But because a lot of us make mistakes when we're sitting down, we actually put 90% more pressure on our spine.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, it's a lot.
It is.
And so some of the main things that we can talk about. The very first one that almost all of us are doing, and I would say that this is common and almost impossible to avoid, but we are all looking down all day long. So if you can picture yourself on your laptop or your workstation, you're probably looking, the screen is down here. So already you've got that sort of bent spine position or neck position. But then imagine when you get on your phone, almost all of us
Yep.
Go straight
Guilty,
to there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you get there, you're scrolling through Instagram or something, and like you're in this position for hours. So that's the one most common mistake people make. I'll talk about some ways that you can fix that so you're not looking down all day in just a second. A couple of other common mistakes. I don't know about you. This one is my most common. I relax my core and I get into this kind of position. You feel your lower back. You're slouching down a little bit.
Yes.
Your hips are tucking up underneath of you, and that causes a lot of external pressure on your spine. Sort of the top part of your body and your lower part are pushing your spine almost backwards. So that can be quite dangerous and cause back pain as well.
Right.
So let's say those are the two most important. There are some other ones about hunching your shoulders and stuff, but let's start with how we can fix those.
That'd be great.
The very first one is a monitor on our screen. If there's anything you can do at all to make the monitor eye level.
Higher. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So almost all of us are putting it on a table, and you can just stack that up, or if you can get an external monitor, that's maybe even a little bit better.
Okay.
That way it can be up. And what it's supposed to be, the dimensions that are perfect would be eye level with the top of your screen.
Okay.
Your screen should be about the same distance away from your face as the size of the screen. So I have a 17-inch screen. I should be about 17 inches at
From
eye
the
height
screen.
with the monitor.
Okay.
Okay? Take that. Next, this is going to seem really weird, but every time you use your phone, if you can try to use that closer to eye level up here rather
like
than
this.
down here. Yes, so you're trying to think of that. It does improve productivity because we're less likely to spend a half hour going through
True.
Instagram like
That's a
this.
good point. That's a good point.
And if you are going to be on Instagram or you're going to be on your phone for a while, see what you can do about getting into a more comfortable position, whether it's laying down or whatever, where you're not constantly bending your neck like this. Okay? Then the next thing for us to try to remember to keep our core engaged is imagine that when you're sitting down, you've got this thing to lean against. If you can get something right up against the small of your back, maybe a little cushion or something, this will help you remind to stay in this position because every time your back leans against that.
And I'm sure we all have cushions at home. On the couch, we have cushions. We can always just use one of those and prop it behind us. Anything goes, I would say,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Anything. I mean, it should be comfortable for you still. Obviously, if you're going to be sitting for a long time,
Right.
it's something that you've still got to enjoy. But it can just be a couch cushion like you would have sitting around the house, a cushion from your bed. It doesn't matter.
Speaking of sitting for a long time, the last time you and I spoke, you actually told me it was quite important to get up periodically.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess that's to me, and I've been doing it. I've been practicing
you?
it. So, guys, of course, I vet my guests before they come on the show and we talk and everything. So, I've actually been practicing some of the stuff Andy has talked about. So
That's very good.
Yeah, to me, I think this will help a lot of our viewers.
Yeah, it was something I mentioned that we should be standing up and maybe just staying active. Do you remember how often I said that you should do
12
that?
to 15 minutes.
Yes, every 12 to 15 minutes. Very good, Angela. Every 12 to 15 minutes, try to make yourself stand up. This does not have to be like exercise necessarily, but folding laundry, or if you're on a conference call, if you can put headphones in, maybe you can move around a little bit, wash some dishes. Do something that gets you up and out of your chair. The way I suggest people remember, because you could just get stuck working, forget, is set an alarm on your phone.
Yes, that's a
Put
great
it 15 to 20 minutes, and you stand up, you move around, give yourself another couple minutes. That will also get the blood pumping all the way through. Your body appreciates that.
Right.
I think I mentioned to you before, like we hunch over.
We do.
And so that means, this is kind of a crazy fact, you're supposed to optimally breathe 10 times per minute. That is one breath every 6 seconds. But when we hunch over, our shoulders like this, you end up breathing 30 breaths in a minute. That's about the average.
30 breaths.
Yes. And so these are not big, deep breaths. You're not getting enough oxygen, so there's not enough blood flow.
Right.
All of that becomes another problem for back pain. So standing up, moving
It's a great
around,
way to,
it gets you breathing better, it gets that blood pumping, you'll be thinking more clearly, and hopefully that back pain can start to get a little better.
Right.
Another small tip, I think you and I talked about it as well, are shoes. If you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I've been having problems with the top of my left foot, and I'm still having problems with it.
It's very strange. Now, for you, if you're wearing heels often, although we do recommend if you're going to be at home, try not to wear heels as often, but you need to make sure that you're staying consistent with whatever it is that you normally do. Something I need to mention, too, is if you wear orthotics, don't go home and walk around in bare feet all day. Make sure to put those orthotics on. You'll start to have major problems in your arches if you don't.
Right. So my mistake was, because I was constantly in high heels, work, out, and otherwise, of course, when I went in quarantine, and I was there for a good month, without wearing high heels.
Yes.
So
your feet were probably gripping and doing all kinds of things that you weren't used to
So
do.
now I'm trying to put them on every now and again.
Yep.
Just to try to get that pain to subside a little bit.
It is a good idea to try and occasionally just do what it is that your body's used to and slowly wean yourself off of the heels if possible. That is something, and that leads to the last thing that I would suggest. If anybody could do this at their workstation, this is sometimes a little bit more challenging, but if you can create a workstation where you're standing up, that is actually ideal.
So like standing and working the whole time.
This is, if you have an external monitor, you can raise that up, external keyboards nowadays, so even if my laptop or PC is over here, you can a lot of times still work standing up. And that's just much easier for us to remember not to slouch, not to look down, to take big, deep breaths, and just generally sort of stay a little bit more neutral with our spine position.
So how often do you recommend, if you're standing, should you sit, like how you said when you're sitting, get up every 12 to 15 minutes? If you're standing, should you do the same? Should you take a seat?
Yes, so you should move around. You should sit down. You should also try to do things to make sure that you don't like lock your knees and just stand in place. That also restricts blood flow. So I suggest finding a little something that you can put one of your feet on, and then every 15 minutes you change that foot.
That's a great idea.
And it just makes it, because you can't lean that far, you start to sort of move around and stuff, but if you can, every 15 minutes, walk around or sit down or do something, because again, you'll get in these positions and we'll get lazy and you'll just relax and you start to put extra pressure on yourself.
Then probably can get cramps and everything because your body is so used to being out.
Yes.
And while under the lockdown, we are home and we become sedentary. We're working from home, we're sitting, like you said, and we don't move and we're eating and we're just... we've gotten lazy.
Yeah.
And we need to do things to motivate ourselves. We need to do things to feel better about ourselves. We need to do things, and which is why, obviously, we're doing this show to help all our viewers, to help everybody out there and who are watching and who are out there, because there are people having a really hard time with this.
Absolutely. Well, picture your normal day-to-day life before this quarantine happened. You're walking to your car, you're going to the grocery store, you're walking in and out of your office, you're doing all this stuff. And now, a lot of us, it's easy to get out of bed, walk to our workstation, and that is it. That's all the movement we have all day.
There was a funny meme that came out. What's the plans for this weekend? Get out of bed, walk to kitchen, walk to living room, walk to bedroom, walk to bed. But it's so true. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So we need to come up with ways, and obviously people like you are here helping us, giving us little tips and tricks, what they can do. Is there anywhere online that we can find this if we want to reference it? Of course, I'll be sharing as well. But I mean, it's great information for people to have.
Sure.
So to reference and to see, okay, if maybe I forgot, let me go and try this,
Okay.
Or we could put down the bullet points of what you suggested as well.
We actually just put it up yesterday. If you go to our YouTube channel, Iconic Fitness Dubai, it'll come up right away. We've put a 3-part series on proper workstation ergonomics. So these are the common mistakes people make. There are actually 6 of them. The 9 things you can do to combat those. We show examples of how to create a good workstation. And then the last video is small, just little mobility, stretches, exercises, things that you can do at home. They don't need to be huge, strenuous exercise, but so you're moving around, getting that blood flowing, you're not staying so tight all day. So that'd be the first place I'd recommend. If you have more questions, we are on iconicfitness.ae. You just send myself or my wife a message. We are the owners.
Absolutely.
Our coaches are putting together great information, so we can always help you that way. There are lots of ways, but there are also plenty of trainers out there with free workouts. I do recommend everybody train. Try to exercise during this time.
There's so many workouts online right now. We had another guest on before you. She's doing workouts as well, free for her clients, So there's so much out there. There's so much information. So you can actually just search. You can go online and say, I want to do a workout at home. And it can be the most basic thing, Pilates, yoga. You said something with mobility. Walking, I'm a fan of walking. Like, I believe in walking for losing weight. So I pull up walking stuff, and when I'm in the kitchen, I'm walking around, trying to move myself around, because in the first few weeks, I was real lazy. So Andy, we're getting ready to cut to a commercial break because we have another guest on, Neil Anderson from RAC. He's joining us. And the reason I brought him on today is because I have a small dog, and I'm struggling with my dog.
Me too.
So he's going to be coming on to talk to us about what we can do, enrichment tricks with the animals, how to deal with our pets and love, at home. So before we get to him, any last words?
My only last 2 ones are, first, go to iconicfitness.ae if you have any questions. We're here to help. And second, most importantly, I want to say hello again to my lovely wife, and I hope you're staying nice and safe and healthy.
Me too.
So thank you so much for having me today, Angela.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the show. And when the baby is born and big, we'll have all of you back.
I can't wait.
We'll have the trio back.
And we can actually leave the house. It's great.
Exactly. All right. Well, super. Andy, thanks so much for joining me. We're getting ready to cut to another commercial break. And when I come back, I will be joined in house with Neil Anderson. And we are back. I am Angela GEGG, and you're watching Angie TV right here on Planet Dubai. We are down to the last segment of my show, and I'm on with one of my favorite guests, guys at home. He's joining me remotely because he is located in Ras Al Khaimah. Don't get mad at me, anybody, if I didn't pronounce it right. But him and his lovely wife, Amanda, are down in Ras, and they are the owners of Homely Petz and Ras Glamping. And they're coming on board to talk to us today about things that we can do with our fur babies at home. Because I myself had a really hard time with baby Martini, my son, my dog. So I thought it was really important to get them on. I know a lot of people are struggling with the lockdown. Neil, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey Angie, great to see you.
Thank you, thank you. Great to see you as well. And I see Jackson in the corner.
Yeah, he's half asleep in the back.
Half asleep.
There, but hopefully he'll come say hi to the camera a little bit later.
Super, super. So Neil, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience a little bit? Tell them about what we're doing, because I think it's really important for people to know about what you guys do and how this helps with their pets at home.
Okay, well, so we've been here in Ras Al Khaimah, sunny, beautiful Ras Al Khaimah, for about the last 7 years. We're located on 10 acres of beautiful countryside land, which is all fresh and green right now because of the rains. We have here our training center and our boarding center, and we care for dogs when people go on vacation. We train with dogs. That's kind of primary use here. That's mainly what my work is. So I'm lucky enough to have great poochies like Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. Hi, big boy. How you doing, Jackson? Oh, he's so cute. Hi, Jackson.
Good boy.
So cute.
Okay, go on your plate.
Oh, he's so obedient too. Do you do obedience training also?
Yeah, we do obedience. We train everything here from narcotics detection through to, sit down, wait, stay calm. Whatever people really want to do with their dogs. And right now, I guess there's a lot of people out there thinking, hey, hell, I wish I'd trained my dog some time ago.
Yeah. Also, there are a lot of people thinking, what do I do with my dog at home? Because we're not able to walk our dogs, We are abiding by the rules and regulations here, especially in Dubai itself. But in the UAE, we can't really take them out for walks. So we have to come up with ways and strategies at home. And, I know you have some amazing tips for us. So I'm looking forward, and I think my viewers are also looking forward to that. What can we do with our animals at home?
It's so difficult, isn't it? And I'm always saying to people, hey, look forward to that walk and use that walk as your training opportunity. Mm-hmm. And heck, where's the walk gone? Mm-hmm. And of course, people are stuck at home trying now to get their work done in front of their laptops. And I bet more dogs have met more bosses on the camera in the last few weeks than ever in history. So, yeah, we've come up with a few tips and a few ideas.
Super.
And, well, let's take a look at one of our videos, shall we?
Yes, I love it. So Neil has provided us with some amazing video footage that we will be playing for you guys at home. Do we have that video ready to roll? Are we ready? Are we rolling? All right, Neil, so the video is on. Can you explain to us what we're watching all right now? Because the video is playing and we're watching it. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is that we are seeing?
Okay, so I guess in this first video, what we're trying to do is to get the dog to use some of its natural instincts. Dogs are real great at roughaging around. You know, when you take them out on a walk and when they stick their nose in, So what we've done here is everybody's got a box right now, you know, from food deliveries and stuff you've been ordering online. We've all been spending a fortune online. Let's use those Amazon boxes to put them to good use and all those materials inside. So we've hidden some treats inside the box, and the dog can come, find, smell, sniff around, open the box, get their nose in there, rummage around until they've found all the treats. And this will stimulate their nose, which is a major, major part of the dog's life.
Good idea. So, and using, instead of going out and buying things, you can actually use all the things that we've been buying at home. For example, the boxes that you said, the leftover boxes, that's brilliant.
Yeah, look, you know, you've got to think out of the box. Excuse
yeah,
me,
no pun intended.
You've got to think out of the box right now, haven't you? Got to use the things that are around them. Why go spending more money than you need to right now?
Yeah, right now is the time to save. So, of course, if we can turn things at home into tools and toys for our fur babies, and that's great.
Shall we have a look at that second video? This one's really cool.
All right, guys, could we drop on the second video that we have from Neil? So we have another video to broadcast for you guys at home, which will show more special tips for you guys watching.
So what you can do is you can get a bath mat, okay, or a towel, yeah? Hide some treats inside, roll it up. Actually, this is Jackson you're looking at right now on that video. And he comes along, he sniffles around, pushes it back a little bit, finds a few more treats. Now his brain tells him, I'll try that again. Pushes it back a little bit more until he's found all of those treats. Hey, worthwhile mentioning, if you're going to start using all these treats, might be a good idea because your dog's not getting so much exercise to kind of food intake down a little bit.
Right.
Yeah?
True,
Otherwise,
good idea.
we're all going to end up with exploding pooches by the end of this.
I agree. Martini has gained a few pounds.
Me too for that.
So actually, if you have some work to do, you can roll up that towel and put the treats in there and hide it. Sit on, and the dog is also keeping himself busy while you're doing your work, and it's a win-win.
Absolutely. I mean, look, usually under normal circumstances, we'd be walking our dogs in the morning, we'd be walking our dogs and perhaps at midday and then in the evening. And of course, we may well be gone between. So we kind of got to stick to our normal routines, but at the same time, we've got to find time to keep these guys amused because now we're in their lives all day.
Absolutely. And in fact, we have another amazing video that we're going to put on for our viewers as well. So we're going to play another video that we've prepared. Thank you so much for preparing these. And that's about to air as well. So tell us a little bit about this one, Neil.
So I guess in this one, what we're looking at is, well, we call it a tug toy. In fact, I guess just a little while ago, this was a tea towel.
Oh.
And we cut it into 3 strips. And we learn to plait.
Oh, wow,
Sorry,
that's a great idea.
Not a natural platter. You can see Luke here on the floor there plaiting. Yeah? And we've used some of our wives' or daughters' hair ties to pull off the ends. Yeah? And of course, then you can tuck the treats in amongst the gaps and move it around in front of your dog's nose while they take the treats from it.
I'm going to try that one when I get home and send you a video. I'm definitely going to give that one a try because I think that to me sounds really good. You could use items that you have lying around the house. We often throw away these old towels, cutting it in 3, braiding it up and putting the treats in. That's an excellent idea. I think that's awesome. Yeah,
these are so simple. And look, this next one, which is coming up, I think it's the next video, is so cool. Okay, put your hand up if you went out and you bought a whole load of toilet roll. Come on, everybody in the world was buying toilet roll. Right?
People were buying toilet paper.
So what are we going to do? what are we going to do with all those leftover toilet roll bits? Yeah, the middle of the toilet roll. Here's a great trick, and you'll see Luke doing it on this next video. We're basically bunching up pieces of toilet roll and putting them inside one tube. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, then we're going to tuck treats in the end. Yeah, just push them in nice and easy. Yeah. Throw it down on the floor and watch your pooch run around chasing it for the next 5 minutes.
Yes, and it would roll everywhere. Yes, that's amazing. That's such a good idea. That is awesome. That is such a good idea, Neil.
It's really important that we make the best of what we got, right? And you've all got a lounge. Yeah. In your lounge, you'll find lots and lots of things. Your living room, whatever you choose to call it, you'll find lots and lots of things that you can use. You can turn your whole lounge into an agility center. Perhaps behind me, you can see all this sophisticated agility equipment. Who needs all of that when you've got sofas and broom handles, dining chairs to make tunnels from? All great fun for your dog.
Absolutely is. And that's the thing, I think a lot of people might, because they're frustrated and we're dealing with this COVID pandemic and we're at home and we're stressed, and you know, they can also feel our stress and our anxiety. So I think it's really important, you know, we all love our fur babies, we love our animals, our pets, you know, so it's important to include them and to entertain them on some level and let them know that just because things are happening, that you know, I think they can feel that stress. We still need to play with them and, like you said, make use of what we actually have at home. I'm sure if you look around, you'll find anything that you can use to run, to play, to make toys. The ideas you gave were fantastic. And, you know, I think if people really decided, hey, let me take a look around and see what I can do, they'd come up with some great ideas also.
You know, just for fun, the other day, what we did, we set up a lounge in our training room. Okay, and we put a leash on a dog and we walked in and around all the chairs and things. So we kind of closed our eyes and just imagined we were looking at the beautiful trees and the greenery around us. But there we were walking around in our mopped up lounge. So don't hesitate, put your leash on, take them for a walk around the lounge. Why not? Practice some sit, lay down, some weights, and come to me. All to keep that body working.
So tell me a little bit about this image that's on the screen now. We have an image that you provided as well. Tell me a little bit about this. It's quite interesting.
So in the background behind me, you can see a tunnel. It's an orange-colored tunnel. Yeah, this is fairly typical of an agility situation.
Okay.
Where it's actually quite challenging for your dog to go into that space when it can't see either side around it. Yeah? It takes a little bit of courage. So if you don't have one of these at home, of course you don't have one of these.
Yeah, no, I absolutely don't have one.
Put a couple of dining room chairs together, 2-3 dining room chairs, put a couple of towels or a blanket over the top and create a tunnel. And to get your dog to go in, just throw a little treat in a few feet and let it go in first, then a bit further and a bit further. Maybe get the whole family involved, right? One person at one end, another person at the other end, and encourage your dog to go through the middle.
Right, that's a great idea.
If you've got a Great Dane, this might be a bit of a problem. But hey, all those Chihuahuas can get at the dining table.
The Great Dane. That's awesome. Well, Neil, obviously when we are finished, me and my team will be coming up to Rack Glamping, and we're looking forward to seeing your property and doing a whole show featuring you and your wife. Any last words for the audience, because I'm about to cut to a commercial break? A
couple of quick things. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you and the guys. Lots of maintenance and new things coming up down here. And please don't forget the online pet show. Okay, the UAE's first ever online pet show. That's going on starting right now. That'll keep you busy for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, absolutely. We definitely won't. And I'll also reshare that on my social media as well for everybody to see. So that's really cool. Guys, Neil Anderson, thanks so much for joining me from Homely Petz down in Iraq remotely. He's been here with us. I'm about to cut to a short commercial break, and I'll be back with more Angie TV in just a minute.